But to succeed, we must deepen ties across our nations and foster a robust sense of camaraderie among our troops. The spirit of this collaboration is why this edition of the Africa Military Games is so timely, coming 22 years after the inaugural edition. I also congratulate all delegates from the participating countries for their exemplary conduct and the immense display of sportsmanship. Through your professionalism and discipline, you have shown that you are not only military personnel, but also extraordinary sportsmen and women.
Allow me to begin by congratulating all the teams that competed in this edition of the Games. While the medals and trophies represent the pinnacle of achievement, I must emphasize that in these games, irrespective of ranking or position, every team is a winner. The courage, skill, and sportsmanship exhibited on the fields, tracks, and courts have been nothing short of inspiring. You are proving that victory is not just about crossing the finish line first, but about embodying the values of unity and resilience.
Nigeria won a total of 234 medals, comprising of 114 gold, 65 silver, and 55 bronze, closely followed by Algeria, who emerged second with a total of 96 medals, and Kenya third with 50 medals. The Africa Military Games third edition will next hold in 2027 in Algeria. In Abuja, Suleiman Musa, NTA News.
And in the health sector, stakeholders in the health sector reiterated the need to improve family planning services in Nigeria. This call was a central theme at the 2024 Annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference of the Society of Gynecology and Obstetrics of Nigeria, held in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. Obiota Ekanu reports.
At the conference, Professor of Obstetrics and Gynecology John Ekabua of the University of Calabar, while addressing the persistent challenges hindering the uptake of family planning services in Nigeria, emphasized that family planning is not only essential for individual health but also for national development. Professor Ekabua identified key obstacles to family planning to include cultural and religious misconceptions, inadequate healthcare infrastructure, and the lack of education about contraceptive options.
Now, the proportion of demand satisfied by modern methods is current contraceptive use, any modern method, divided by unmet needs, plus current contraceptive use, any method.
At the press briefing to round off the meeting, SOGOM President Professor Okechukwu Ibeze stressed the urgent need for increased health financing in Nigeria's national budget. He highlighted that sustainable funding is critical for expanding family planning access, training healthcare workers, and ensuring the availability of contraceptive supplies, especially in rural areas.
The society with our partners and with government has brought down the rate of women dying in Nigeria. There was a time it was up to 1,000 women. By the way we rate it, 1,000 per 100,000 deliveries. It has come down to 800, now to 500. So we are making progress.
The conference ended with a strong call to action for all stakeholders to prioritize investment in reproductive health services. This, the participants argued, is necessary to sustain quality maternal and child health, particularly in these challenging times. In Uyo, Obiota Ekanu, NTA News.
We'll pause for some messages now. More news after. Stay with us.
Water is life. Aqua Cardinale Water provides the highest quality drinking water. Aqua Cardinale Water is owned by the Catholic Diocese of Uyo, produced and packaged by Cadisem Enterprises Nigeria. It is available in 19 liters dispenser jar, 60 cl sachet, 50 cl and 75 cl table water. Visit Aqua Cardinale Water at number 34 Dominic Utuk Avenue, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Drink Aqua Cardinale Water, certified by NAFDAC and Standard Organization of Nigeria. Call 0903-288-2958. Aqua Cardinali Water. Drink pure. Stay healthy.
When you come into the Glow Cafe, you're in for a world of treats. Not only can you monitor all your voice and data usage with ease, buy, share, borrow, and gift data and airtime in the smoothest ways, pay for any services of your choice using your airtime or your bank card, and manage or change your tariff plan to any plan you prefer seamlessly. You can also add friends, get sweet rewards, and so much more. Oh, and don't forget, if you ever need to recharge outside the Glow Cafe app, just dial *805# to purchase airtime or data through your bike. So, step into your Glow Cafe today.
Just dial *777# or download the Glow Cafe app today.
Thank you for still staying tuned. Education is said to be the key to the development of any society, and children who are beneficiaries of this education, whether formal or non-formal, require healthy nutritional needs for their overall well-being. A recent disturbing viral video where boarding students of the Presbyterian Senior Science College, Ibionibum local government area of Akwa Ibom State, were fed with a poor and non-nutritious meal has sparked reactions from the Akwa Ibom State government. To this end, the principal of the school has been suspended and investigations are ongoing into the state of boarding facilities in the school and the other 25 public boarding secondary schools across the states. Tiani Meoko takes it from here.
Which was leaked on social media by a concerned citizen, has sparked serious public outrage, especially among parents and guardians. Parents and other education stakeholders have condemned the quality of food served to the children by the school, questioning the effectiveness of the Akwa Ibom State government's free and compulsory education policy.
The entire situation wasn't palatable in any way, knowing that in Akwa Ibom State here, we're investing a lot in the education sector for free and compulsory education that is being carried out. And then when we hear things like this, it just makes us question a lot about the government.
We keep seeing parents go to private schools. Now we understand why lots of parents would rather, struggle or work very hard to have their children in private schools, not public schools. Just look at what we saw.
I never expected such food could be given to people's children. It's so sad. And I ask myself, those that serve those children with such meal, can they also serve their own children at home with such meal?
They say the trending video paints a true picture of the situation in other boarding schools across the states, demanding more investment and monitoring.
So government should be more deliberate about making sure that if they're saying education is free, then it should be free in totality, and we should have quality education, and also going a step further to ensure that if they're going to say, oh, children should pay, it's not free, we can look that way, because at some point we just keep thinking, can education be free for real?
Government should, as a matter of urgency, monitor all the schools in Akwa Ibom State. We don't have to wait until it is posted on social media. Okay, assuming it wasn't posted on the social media, who would have known that that's such meal being fed to the children in the school?
Government should now begin to put machinery in place to ensure that we have monitors, we have inspectors who ensure that whatever government is putting in as investment is utilized to its best capacity. Because it's possible for the government to put in all of the money, but because there are no measures, no mechanism put on the ground to ensure that they ensure the maximal usage of these funds would now then get less than should be for the children.
Government, on its part, has swung into action, directing investigation into the situation of boarding schools across the state, while suspending the principal of the Presbyterian Senior Science College, Ididep, Dr. Nse Umor, pending the outcome of the investigation. Meanwhile, Governor Umoeno, while presenting the 2025 budget to the State House of Assembly, is sternly advising parents to take responsibility of their wards while in boarding schools.
Let me say here clearly that feeding in boarding schools is the responsibility of parents. Government have set up an investigative panel to look into the recent incident involving the Presbyterian Senior Science College, Idide, in Ibionibom local government area. The government will not hesitate to shut down schools where parents cannot properly feed their wards. After all, if these wards were living with them at home, they will provide for their meals. Government never promised feeding to boarding house students, and we will not be stampeded to doing so. The high cost of education in the state is already inhibiting on us, but we are determined to push through. Please let parents take responsibility for the words they've sent to school.
Citizens now await the outcome of the investigation into the affected school, as well as the 25 others, with the hope that government will up its game in the area of monitoring to ensure that quality is upheld at all times. In Uyo, Dianime Uko, NTA News.
Away from education matters now, stakeholders and residents of Ikorabasi, the host community of the Aluminium Smelter Company of Nigeria, ALSCON, are calling on the federal government to intervene and save facilities at the company from further decay. He spoke with Clement Barikwi, who recently visited the area to ascertain the state of ALSCON and its challenges.
Here is Ikorabasi, popularly called Nigeria's Smelter City, that was once booming with life and economic activities. The town now suffers an agonizing reversal of fortune following the closure of the Aluminium Smelter Company of Nigeria in 2013.
We have not seen this before. Poverty upon poverty is hitting us because of lack of job to do.
And as you can see, you can barely count the number of cars that are plying the road. You can barely count the number of bikes that are plying the road. Why? Because a place that was, that had engaged a lot of people, made life meaningful to people, shut down.
Honestly speaking, since ALSCON caught up in Ikorabasi, it's a serious crisis here.
Even inside the ALSCON day, a lot of things has been looked at, because sometimes we'll be seeing trucks moving out with some machines and things like that, and the black stone, they pack it out, and all those things were still useful there, but they have looted.
Report from some quarters have it that the managers of the company, United Company Rosal PLC, suspended operations, blaming it on inadequate gas supply to the plant, irregular power supply, and insecurity challenges at that time. The smelter company has also been greatly challenged by ownership tussle between BFIG and UC Rosal, which emerged the preferred bidder when the plant was privatized. Although UC Rosal is currently in charge of the smelter company, residents of Ikorabasi and leaders of Ikpaibekwe clan, the host community, say no activity is going on and wish the company will bounce back.
The issue of ALSCON has not been resolved from the federal government, litigation of the BFIG and Rosal.
We don't want conflicting, a position. Today is Rosal, tomorrow is BFIG, this and that. Or tomorrow, next tomorrow is guys from China. They should come out clean.
It was my belief that I would work also in ALSCON, but today the place is not as functional as it's supposed to be because of some excuses or issues that is not yet understood or well defined till date.
The Aluminium Smelter Company of Nigeria, ALSCON, was set up in 1997 to harness Nigeria's estimated 187 trillion cubic feet of gas reserves for aluminium production, industrialization, and national economic growth. According to the Bureau of Public Enterprises, at peak production in 1999, ALSCON earned $324 million in export of aluminium, created jobs, satisfied Nigeria's aluminium needs of less than 20%, and earned income from exporting 80% of its products.
Clement Barikui, NTA News.
Another time to pay some bills. The news continues when we return. Stay with us. Thank you for still staying tuned. The federal and state governments have been urged to sponsor research for the isolation and storage of potentially effective microorganisms for mitigation and biodegradation of waste in the environment. The 107th inaugural lecturer of the University of Uyo, Professor Matthew Albert Ekpo, made the appeal during his lecture at the permanent campus of the university. John Paul Alumuna has the reports.
The 170th inaugural lecture, titled Microbes, the Anonymous Heroes of the Vast Human Race, was presented by Professor Matthew Ekpo, a professor of soil environmental microbiology in the Department of Microbiology in the University of Uyo. The citation of the inaugural lecturer, presented by Professor Ifyong Johnson, indicated that Professor Matthew Ekpo was born in Esene, Ikorabasi local government area of the state. He graduated from the prestigious University of Nigeria, UNN, in 1978, obtained his MSc from the University of Benin in 1988, and bagged a PhD from the University of Ibadan in 1998. He has written and published many books and scholarly research articles in both local and international journals. In his lecture, Professor Matthew Ekpo described microorganisms as very important in the sustenance of a man through biodegradation and other processes which help to make the environment habitable for man. He explains that the use of organic fertilizer is an eco-friendly process as opposed to the massive use of inorganic fertilizer, which lead to greater degradation of the soil and eventual contamination of the water ecosystem.
Those microorganisms are ubiquitous. Many have great potential to solve most of our problems.
The Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Yadon Ndiayu, described the inaugural lecturer as an academic icon who has distinguished himself in the field of academics.
If you don't remember any other thing, remember there is degradation. There's also intoxication. And so, by my judgments and yours, they are setting us through the wall of microorganisms.
We have learned that microorganisms can be used for useful things for people. Initially, I thought that it was for destructive only.
Microorganisms are a necessity for the cultivation of crops.
The inaugural lecturer presented a copy of the lecture to the Vice Chancellor, while the management presented a plaque to him. In Uyo, John Paul Alumona, NTA News.
And the Akwa Ibom State government will continue to ensure enabling secure and receptive environment for all core members to thrive. The Commissioner for Youth was speaking at the swearing-in of Batch C Stream 1 core members in Nsiratai local government area of the state. Kelvin Samuel reports.
There are a total of 1,531 core members taking the oath of allegiance to diligently serve their fatherland in the next 1 year here in Akwa Ibom State. Commissioner for Youth, represented by the NYC State Coordinator Samuel Pepo, reassures of the state government's commitment in ensuring enabling environment for the core members as they discharge their duties to the nation this 1 year. He advises them to live right, learn useful skills, while in calm to make the best of their stay.
Expected to contribute your quota to the development of our dear country, individually and collectively. From today, you are stakeholders in the Nigerian project. It is therefore incumbent upon you to continue the building process across linguistic, religious, ethnic, cultural, and social boundaries.
Let me at this juncture congratulate you, my dear corps members, for answering the call to national duty. I have no doubt in my mind that you will be amenable to training and hereafter contribute your own quota to the arduous task of national development.
The oath of allegiance was administered by the Akwa Ibom State Chief George, and the short event was brought to an end. From Statai Local Government Area of Akwa Ibom State, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
And that's the AM News. Thank you for being a part of it. Join us again later this evening for another package. My name is Ididi Oibadu. Have a beautiful day.